Hi everyone. Good evening, good morning. We'll start in next 2 to 3 minutes. So by the time others are joining, if you have any queries or something, you can clarify with Prakash. Prakash, we can start now. So one quick thing. So just for information, actually we are starting a new batch from 29th of January. I have given a link in chat section. If you want to share that on your LinkedIn or somewhere where you feel maybe your colleagues, if they are interested, they can inquire with us. So I have shared a link in LinkedIn. You can share it on your LinkedIn profile or wherever you want to. Prakash, we can get started. Maybe others would join in a couple of minutes. No problem.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ankit. Yeah, even though I think a few people it not joined, so if you have any doubt, you can go ahead first. We want to start from there. So I will give few minutes more for you to just ask your doubts, anything from our last classes.
Prakash, Prasna here. See, on the initial load, we are doing for the first time. Okay. So
Yeah.
on the subsequent changes, so do we have any concept called delta load, or like it works like a GRC on the repository sync, role sync straight away?
Yeah, it will once you are going for next raw job run, so it will run
Mhm.
only for the it will check for the last run.
Okay.
So
So delta
that,
update.
yeah, so it will
Okay.
automatically do delta update.
Okay. Okay. So in IDM, right, we have a separate classification. So that's why I just checked.
Yeah, here it is a you can say by default it is working a scheme. Means it is working you can say delta read by default.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. But if you
Sure.
want to change it to like every time you want to run from a start or sometime if you want to run, then you have to change some parameters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. By default, it will take delta run,
Okay. Thanks for this.
and surely as first time it is take initial loads, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, Prakash, so apart from Delta, if you want to load only the customized tools from the ECC, yeah, then what is is there any option?
What you mean by customized tools?
Customized roles. So from ECC through Cloud Connector,
Yeah,
we are getting into, through BTP to IAG, right?
yeah.
So yeah, only customized roles. Suppose we want to load into the IAG. Is there a option or how?
No, unfortunately, no. I can tell you that. At least for ECC, you don't have like. For some other applications, we have some options. Okay, but ECC, you don't have like that.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So all the rows will get sync. Complete repository will get synced to your system. I think even if you're working in GRC, also we don't have any customized, right? When we are running the repository sync, so it is running all the things. But yeah, if you are customizing the program, that is a different thing. But by default, GRC program also running in the same way. Means it's because when you are running the repository syncs, so it's trying to fetch all of your data, either role or profile. You can see users, assignments, as well as authorization data, right? So everything is getting synced here. So that's why it is not like that custom role will only custom role will get synced. Okay, hope I think if there is no further questions, so I will start for the today's session. Just for the recap purpose, uh, I will just recall that what we have done because we are taking going little slow and in last 2 weeks only we have took I think mostly one classes. So till now, we have started with the introduction. After introduction, we have been with the BTP and details about the BTP, how any applications can be subscribed to BTP, and how means some basics about the BTP. I will not say that very deep dive, but yeah, at least for how you can subscribe the applications, how you can create the sub account, how authorizations is there. So means as the IS perspective, I don't think you require more knowledge on the BTP side. So that we have gone through. After completing the BTP, next session we have been for the identity authentication service that is mostly running that your ownership and you can say identity management, right? So that is we have handled, and then we are doing the because once you have set up your account that is BTP, then your next job is to authentications and ownership, like who can get what ownership, right? So that is being handled by you can say IS, and surely for the custom identity provider because every time we can't go to create our identity into SAP, that's why IS is the first setup. So we have completed that, and then we have started with the integration scenarios. So integration scenarios, I'm really saying that we are going in little detail because I know that this is a one of the most important thing you may used to do every day into your IAG work. So, or any means environment where you need to you bring systems into your environment. Till now, we have connected two applications, and both are on premise, right? In front of you, we have connected two applications, like one is GCC, one is GRC, and we have tried to pull out all type of authorization data, user assignment, everything we have tried to pull out from the, you can see, those systems. So we have completed that part, but now we are starting from next, because IES is not a serving purpose only for the on-premise applications, and that is the main purpose to IAG to serve all type of applications. So next type of applications is cloud applications. So how we are working with the cloud applications. So that is the, you can say, topics for the today integration scenario. I will start sharing my screen. Please confirm if you are able to see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So this is also for the integration scenarios. When we are saying the integration scenario is nothing but we are trying to bring into system into our. So today's goal is that is integration scenario we have discussed. Identity provisioning service, like especially that is for cloud applications. I will discuss IPS use cases, then IPS tenant models, infrastructure, system types, and then IPS proxy setup, integration of cloud applications via IPS proxy, and then simple, it is everywhere, means you have to run the job and sync the data, and then I will show one additional integration of Cloud Foundry applications. So today also we will try to cover up two applications, two type of cloud applications integrations, right? So that's a goal for the today. We will try to do it. This is the just because it can be season, any sessions can be first or second. So that is you know that I will not explain in detail again. We know that we have two type of, means we have high level on three type of integration: direct integration via IPS proxy or cloud connector. So cloud connector we have already discussed. Any on-premise system we are going through cloud connector. So now we are going to discuss everything about the IPS proxy in today's scenarios. So when we are saying that IPS proxy, in a short word, what IPS is? So IPS is nothing but a system being provided by SAP or service, I can see, because it is a cloud application, so it is a service. So SAP Identity Provisioning Service, right? So that is in short we used to say IPS. So what IPS does actually, right? So IPS main job, if I can tell you that, to automate the provisioning of either user or groups, right? So either means, so main IPS job is to, you can say that, make the provisioning. Why name it is very clear, that means you have to write into SAP applications, means from any source. Source can be your SAP system, source can be your non-SAP system, but IPS will work in the both the cases, right? So IPS can work in a multiple ways that we will discuss, but main job for IPS is to do the provisioning service. Provisioning, as I am saying that, normally two type of provisioning we know. One is user provisioning, means we are writing user data into any SAP applications, and second one is access provisioning, right? We are providing access to those users. So that is the main goal of IPS. Okay. But IPS can't work in a silos. Means you can't say that can we start everything from the IPS? So no, IPS is not a system like that. IPS is your, you can say, intermediary system where some source should be there. From source you are writing it to some target application. So that is the purpose of IPS, right? So that is the main goal of IPS. Okay, so it helps you in all type of applications. Either it can be cloud applications or on-premise applications. Okay. Normally coming to the environment, as we know that we have discussed multiple time that BTP, we used to say always BTP. So it is coming onto means earlier it was used to come SAP BTP new environment, and nowadays IPS is coming on SAP Cloud Identity Service Infrastructure, right? So that is a big difference. Don't worry a lot about that. That is a SAP infrastructure thing. They used to have it on a new environment earlier. Now they are bringing, because earlier IPS is a individual applications. Now it is part of identity service. Means IS and IPS coming into the part of same application, that is called identity services. So they bring into, so identity services, under identity services infrastructure, they bring the, you can say that IPS. Don't worry more about that. Only thing change that few configurations, small configurations, how you are doing in a two places, little have been changed. Nowadays, if you will coming after 22, I don't remember the exact date, but you may find somewhere in documentation, I think some 15th March 22 something, in some mid of 22. After that, you will not get any applications on the BTP new environment. So all is coming into SAP Cloud Identity Services, and that's even right now the, you can say, tenant we are using, that is also on the SAP Cloud Identity Services, right? So it's not like that on BTP new environment. So whatever coming new, all is coming on the, you can say, simply on new infrastructure. So old infrastructure just I have mentioned because you may, if working with some client, so in some cases you may not know that, okay, why it is new environment. So just for information knowledge I have told you, but yeah, normally whatever new all applications are coming, that is on identity services infrastructure. And even though old one, SAP is migrating them. Internally they are migrating. So some, after some time, even you will not find this name, BTP new environment. So features, basically what it is doing, users and groups provisioning, users and group filtering, means if you want you can filter it. Full and delta read model, if you are trying to, how you want to read, you can do it. Job logging, so whatever job you are running, you log that. And notifications, means mail and other things can be sent to you. So that is a high level features which I have explained to you. So use cases, as I was explaining that what are the use cases. So basically there are two use cases right now you think of, like that I am explaining that identity access governance, right? So why we are discussing means IPS here, okay? So that is a use case I'm trying to explain you. I have told that IPS is not a, you can say, central system somewhere like that doing some access provisioning and everything. IPS is just a intermediary system, means it is reading data from somewhere and writing somewhere, right? So IPS is a system like that, okay? So there is a two use case working. One use case is working that IPS is working as a, you can say, main system, right? Main system is like that it will read data from somewhere and write data from somewhere, right? So in that case you can say that job is running in IPS, okay? So that is a, I'm saying that in this case IPS is being used as a main system, and this framework is called source target framework. Just after that I will show you how, what exactly those things are, okay? So what it is done, assume that you have some system, assume that you have source like Azure where user data is being right, and you have multiple applications of SAP where you want to write those users. How can you write it, right? Is there any way to write it? So how you can do the provisioning? So for doing any provisioning in SAP applications, it requires some system, and then IPS come into the picture, right? So in that case, what is happening? You are writing something in to your, means you have data into Azure. So IPS will take Azure as a source system, and any application, assume that SAP Analytics Cloud is applications where you want to write the users, right? So SAP Analytics Cloud will become as a target system. So that is a source and target framework will be tool, right? Okay. So that is a very simple thing, simple concept. In some cases, what is happening? IS is your source, means you are writing identity provider is your IS. You want to write those user into some application. So IS is your source, and you can say any other application is your target system. So IS will be work as a source system, and SSC or any S means BTP other applications will work as a target application. So that framework is normally called source target framework. Means one system is source and another system is target. A lot of things come into between that we will discuss once we'll go to the practical. Just I'm trying to explain you how many type of use cases we can use using that IPS. One is called proxy. I will tell how I just everybody are saying a hybrid integration, but I will say you that proxy. What exactly proxy? Just now I have explained that if we are using IPS as a main system, means job is running in IPS. Means there is some source system and there is some target system. So job is being run in IPS. IPS is the main system. It is reading the data and it is writing the data. But in some cases, IPS is not doing a lot. IPS is just working intermediary between two applications. Like I will say that case of IAG. So IAG is doing all the tasks. IAG is getting data from some other systems, assume that rule data or something, right? So IAG data is coming into IAG, right? And then IAG is doing access request, IAG is doing access request approval, IAG is doing assignment, IAG is doing risk analysis, everything. And after that, what is done? IAG is assigning the role. Assignment is you can say assign till approval and assignment is completed in IAG, but how it can be provisioned to the target application, for that IPS is coming into the picture, because I think I have explained you that IAG is no more developing their own connectors. So for that purpose, provisioning purpose, it's using the IPS. Okay, and that scenario is being called that proxy scenario. Means here job is even being run in IAG. Everything is being run in IAG, and we are just creating a proxy system. Means we are using IPS as a proxy, and using IPS proxy, all the means provisioning is being done on any target application. So that is the goal. In that case, it is not source target framework. It is that you are just creating a proxy system into IPS, and via that proxy system, you are reading or writing data from that target application. So that is called. Same way, not only identity access governance, even identity management system, SAP identity management system, or even any other identity management systems can use. Who means you? If you know any other identity management systems who can do that, you can say who can trigger the job, who can run the job from their system, they can use IPS as a proxy. Right now, we will focus mostly on the IAG side, but yeah, I will tell you that if any identity management system who can work like IAG, or means you can say SAP IDM, so that can also utilize IPS as a proxy. Any doubt? Some additional features of IPS coming to, like that, not only that this provisioning, there is a special provisioning that is called real-time provisioning. Means whatever, if you will set this real-time provisioning in identity authentications, means IAS, so you can utilize that. Means whatever you are creating the user, you are modifying the user doing the self-registration in IAS, everything will be run into target applications in a real time. So that is a setup being done in, you can say, your IS. So if you want to use real-time provisioning, so that is a one scenario, you can say that, use that. So that is a special feature for the IS and IPS combination, I will tell, not only for the features for the IPS or IS, means both system using sync, you can do the real-time provisioning. Means there is no manual intervention will be required. Automatically, once you will set up real-time provisioning, so whatever authorizations you are providing or creating groups you are creating in IS, or you are making any assignment into IS, so all will be written into target applications in the real time. Okay, it event will be triggered in IS and automatically it will write by IPS. Again, in this way, IS will be your source system, and any application where you want to write, that will be your target application. One special features coming to that, storing users and group in local identity directory. Normally, IPS is being used for the provisioning user and groups, as you know that. But if you want to save the data, if you want to do, okay, means before writing into any target application, I want to save all the data. So that is called normally local identity directory. So IPS is also providing a local identity directory. Means whatever authorizations you are trying to write into applications, first you can write into your local identity directory, and then it will return into next applications. Then what benefit you will get from here? Assume that your read application is working from somewhere from the, like you are taking data from some source system and writing into local identity directory, right? So you can understand, you can investigate where something is getting broken up so that our data is not sending correctly to the charger system. Is our identity management not sending data properly, or IPS is not writing properly, right? So in this way, you will have the mediator. You can see you have the local identity directory in IPS where you can save your all of your data related with assignments. So that is just add-on features about the IPS. Now coming to the tenant model, these are the some basic things I wanted to explain before going directly into the system. So what we are saying the tenant model. So normally, if you are purchasing, right now what we have purchased, we have just purchased the IEG, but we have got IPS and IS with that IS tenant, right? That is called bundle tenant concept. If you will understand what exactly these things is, assume that SAP you are taking license for some applications like SAC, S4 HANA Cloud, or Ariba, or any applications. So what you can say SAP gives you. So SAP gives you IPS and IS as a free to you, because without IS and IPS it is almost, I'm not saying IEG, without IS and IPS it is almost impossible to work with the any SAP cloud application. At least I'm not saying that on-premise application, but cloud applications for doing provisioning, doing authentication, doing multiple tasks. These are the mandatory applications like IS and IPS. Even though this can be used just as a proxy, right? That is also possible. But these are the mandatory type of application which you need to use while working with the any SAP cloud application. And that is the reason they are providing you the bundle tenant. So you have to understand that are you using the bundle tenant or using the some tenant which you have purchased. This is the one thing that you can get as a service, right? So you can get these tenants as a bundle tenant, means as a free tenant with your applications, right? So based on, and this bundle tenant have some limitations in some cases. Reason that if you have taking just S4 HANA cloud and you are getting IPS bundle with that, so it will support only limited applications. It will not support all the applications. Same way if you are taking SAC and you are getting bundle tenant IPS with that, so it is not like that that will support all the applications again, right? So that will have the limited capability. That is the reason behind bundle tenant. But there is one more benefit if you are taking IAG. So if you are taking IAG as a and you are getting bundle tenant of the IPS or IS, so best thing is here is that in case of IAG, bundle tenant is working as a standalone tenant. Means you can have all the features of the a normal IPS system or applications with the bundle tenant, because IAG is serving all type of applications. IAG is a access governance tool. So in that case, IPS is a full-fledged application. So right now, what IPS we are using, that is a full-fledged application. It's not like that limited features it have, because we have received it with our IAG tenant. So it have the full-fledged applications. Every service and every application is being supported by our IPS. Okay. A standalone alone, I have no need to explain in detail. Means if you are just purchasing IPS for the individual purpose, means you want to purchase means IPS for your service purpose, then you have to purchase. Or you can see that a standalone alone. But there is a limitation. You can find that I have already given here date. Since this were a lot of confusion that why SAP means you can say selling it independently if it is required. If it is required to come with the all SAP application, because if it is not means you can see that like if all SAP applications required IPS, so then anyhow SAP is going to give IPS with that, right? So why it will require a standalone, right? So during that you can say discussion and everything. Initially they used to sell independently, but coming August, October 2020, right? Now they are not selling any standalone tenant. So now you can get only bundle tenant, right? So that is coming with your applications as a free. But one more thing I will tell you that limitations will be still there. means which type of applications you are purchasing, your IPS will be accordingly means changed. It is not like that you will have all the feature, right? So you can't use that IPS for the all the applications if you are just taking for the but if you are taking IPS with the IAG, then you will take all the features, means you will have the full-fledged features. So that is the one conditions is still available. This is just to understand that how they are giving you that URL, because I have told that they are having two type of tenant. So once you are going that, how you can find that those tenants. So if you are going for the current infrastructure, so you can see that I will show you all as well. Like it is simply whatever the IS host is given, and how can you get the IS host, that also I will tell you that. And just after slash you have to give the IPS, you will get the, you can see URL for your I means IPS, right? So whatever you are getting for IS, just change it at the place of admin slash keep it IPS, you will get that. So assume that this is an example given, Western account on demand.com. That is for the IS tenant, then at slash you have to just give the IPS and you will get the your IPS tenant, right? So that is a normally URL for the identity infrastructure that is right now currently. But if we'll go to the old one, right? So old one, how it is being done, that is a BTP new account. So it is showing IPS, consumer account, or you can say sub account, whatever, then dispatcher, region host, web app, index, HTML. This is the, you can say page and little complex customer account, your identity provisioning bundle tenant ID. For example, it is given like that. This is you are getting some alphanumeric number for your customer number dispatcher, and this is showing you that your region sometimes like that. Region means you can be European region, you can be like some and date I think I have mentioned here. So effective March 1522, new identity provisioning bundle tenants are created on the infrastructure of the SAP Cloud Identity Services only. Means now this is not being created, but if you are finding and how you can identify that our IPS is on old infrastructure or on new infrastructure, so you can understand this way. If you are finding these things, means you can this things like that to your hana.ondemand.com if you are getting, then it means that it is on old infrastructure. If you are getting accounts.ondemand.com, means it is coming on the new infrastructure. And you can find that IPS is also coming in the last here after slash. Here it is IPS coming in the first. So that is the differences between your, you can identify the difference right now on which infrastructure our uh, means our IPS is running. So that is a basic difference you can. So that is some small differences. You may find that once you are getting that IPS, a small way of differences in working as well. And working, not I will say working, but mostly you can say everywhere URL getting changed, right? So all the things related with URL will get changed. Okay. So as we were explaining a lot about source system, target system, and proxy system. So these are the most important thing here. Basically, IPS is working for all these things. So what source system? So source system and target system, I don't think you require any more introduction. It's by name very clear. But yeah, source normally we are saying that any applications where from where we are reading the data, right? Reading the data, which type of data, users, groups, role, what you say, sometimes authorizations, right? And source system can be anything. It is clearly told that it can be on premise, it can be cloud based, it can be SAP, it can be non SAP. Okay, and it can be some user store and usually represent the corporate user store where identities are currently maintained. Means you are providing the identity from there. Okay. So that is a normally source system. Source system can be anything like that. Okay. So source system from where you are reading the data, from where you want to read the data and write somewhere. So that is normally your source system. Target system is nothing but the connector you are servicing, right? You are doing the provisioning, you are writing the data basically, even though are you reading data from there as well, but mostly we are using for the writing purpose, right? So means that is a target application. Why I'm saying that you are right means reading as well, because in some cases like that one system can be source as well as target system, right? That is a things I wanted to tell you. But yeah, most of the times target applications where you are trying to write the application system. Proxy systems, as is told, that it is working in the hybrid scenario, or you can say that where means IPS is not our central system, but it is exposed to some third party system. Third party, I'm saying, here don't think means out of SAP, anything. Either it can be SAP system or any non SAP system, which trying to utilize IPS as a provisioning system, right? And assume that some system want to write some data into SAP application, so they require IPS, and that's why they can utilize IPS as a proxy system. Any doubt till it?
Prakash, prashna here. On the local identity, one topic came, right? Local
Yeah,
identity provisioning. So consider
I did.
if IAG is source and target is some ECC. If IAG is down, whether this local identity can help at the time being, or what is the exact purpose of?
No, in that use case, it will not help. It will help
Okay.
only if you are using the use case of source and target framework. Okay. So in
Mm-hmm.
proxy framework, it doesn't come into the picture because proxy framework, everything is managed by the external system.
Okay.
Yeah. In case of source target framework, what you can do, you can write from somewhere source system and write into first into your local identity directory, and then
Mm.
next configuration you have to create, read from the local identity directory and write into your target system.
Oh, okay. It is like pass.
Exactly. So
Okay.
at the place of source, see how source and target work. Source
Mm-hmm.
reading from somewhere, target writing to somewhere. So what we
Okay.
are doing, if you want to create IPS your central source of truth for all the assignments, so what you can do, you can create a source. That source is not writing means in any other places, but writing into your IPS. Means IPS will become your target.
Okay.
Understand? And
Yeah.
then you are reading from the IPS and writing into some third party application.
Yeah.
Third means you can see target application, right?
Target
So
application.
here you are using source target framework two times. Understood?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Means
Yeah.
so one IPS, or you can say, I will not say IPS, it is identity directory, that is called IDDS. Okay, that is a
Mm-hmm.
specific service of the SAP identity service. So IDDS is being used in between. Okay, that is local identity directory we used to say. It is being used in between your you can say source and target, but for that you have to do configurations like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, now coming to that, because that is the most important thing, because even though source target framework is a very important framework, if you are just individually learning IPS, so that is a really a very important thing. But in our case, we are using mostly proxy, not mostly 100%, because if we are going to learn IAG, so in that case, means our goal is to use proxy system. So how proxy system works, that I'm trying to make you understand here. It is SAP means help document picture. It's not created by me. So what is happening? You are running jobs or whatever the things you are running into your external consumer. So what can be any consumer? Like here example is given: SAP Identity Management, SAP Cloud Identity Access Governance, or any other corporate identity. Means you can say any other identity management tools which is trying to utilize IPS and proxy supported system in Proximo. So whatever the supported system is available, you have to. So you have to integrate these systems not directly with the this IAG, or you can say identity management. That will be means integrated with the IPS, right? And what IPS will do, so you can say that proxy system connector. So that connector is being created, and it will read all the authorization data from here and send it to again, you can say, your external consumer. So it will take data from here again, whatever it is being written, so that send data will be sent here. Even though if you will feel that data is coming, but directly it is going to here, no in between storage, data is being stored here. as I have told that in source target framework, you can create a configuration like that. You can use local identity directory, but that is not truth in case of, you can see that proxy system configuration, because proxy system directly directly writing data to the either means proxy system working in a both way. It is reading data from the target applications and writing into IAG, and same way it is reading from the IAG and writing it to target applications, right? Means once you are running the job, sync jobs, what is happening? It is taking data from the target applications. Even though you may thinking that everything is being done by IPS, but job is being run where? Job is being run in your external consumer. In this case, IAG. Same way, if you are sending data and writing, so from where data is being triggered? Data is being triggered or job is being run in IAG. It is just an intermediary system which is connected to your, you can say, target applications. It is just working as an intermediary system, and it is writing to, you can say, target application. But in between, there is no job is running in IPS. IPS is not responsible for any job. So if we are getting any failure or anything, so that everything will coming from the IAG. So you can't do any type of investigation in that case in IPS. So all type of investigation need to be done via IAG, or connector checkups anytime can be done. But yeah, all the normal job is running fine or not, if anything is happening. So most of the logs will be checked from the IAG side. So identity provisioning service exposes the backend of a supported system as a proxy. Okay. All external applications here, example as IAG, regard the proxies as its backend system. The entity exposed by a backend system are mapped to, and here one important thing is that we are following that scheme 2 here. So whatever that means, entities are exposed here, because IPS and IS integration is based on the scheme 2. So if possible, not possible, schema standard provides a mechanism to define a new resource type with appropriate schema. If there is some differences, so in IPS you can change the schema. And any application who is trying to consume the data, they require to use REST API service, right? So they have to start sending REST API web service request to proxy system in order to read identities from backend of the scheme2. Either here it is written only read, but either in read or in write, both cases external application have to use the REST API service. So that is a goal. So if you want to use IPS as a proxy and want to write using any API tool, you can do it. That I will also show. Okay. Any doubt here?
Yeah, Prakash. In that screen, the APS, it is a bundle tenant or it is separate standalone tenant?
In our case,
Yeah, here in this picture. Yeah.
it is we are discussing about the bundle tenant.
Okay.
Because see, it is coming like that. I'm saying that this IPS is coming with IAG. However, one thing you ask that this is in picture nothing. Picture is just explaining that how proxy works, right? Picture is nowhere related with you can say that it is a bundle tenant or not, right? But picture is just in any IPS, if you are going to use both, this will be available. Okay, either it is a bundle tenant or a standalone tenant, both cases it will be available. It's not a problem. Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah, okay.
This is valid in both the cases. So this I am trying to explain some theoretical things regarding IPS, because it's totally a new application. So you can say different applications. If you have any doubts, surely you can ask. But after that, we will go and start doing some configuration, because that is related with our, can say that today's training part. Okay. Okay. So before that, I will just go to system directly. Have you ever logged in IPS? I think access is already given to you, right? So just to recall, I will start from very basics so that you can understand these things very clearly. So we start from here, right? You got the IAG, you went there, you got the subscriptions. Whatever I have tried to explain there, so that's I'm trying to explain in system, okay? So that you can correlate with the things what exactly bundle tenant is, what a standalone tenant, all those things. Okay. I can't show you new account, unfortunately, because I don't have any example for the not new tenant right now. But yeah, bundle tenant I can. So once you are coming and subscribing something, so you know that what subscriptions you have got it. So you got a subscription for the cloud identity access governance, right? So you know that you have subscribed it, but just subscribing it, it is not. So what is the next step you are doing? So you are also subscribing cloud identity services. How you are subscribing? You are going to service marketplace. I think I have shown this, but again I am trying to repeat because you are going cloud identity services. From here you are creating, and once you are creating that in that way, simply you can see that you are subscribing this, right? Once it is subscribed, so you can find identity services. Now if I will go to this, okay, and if you will go here, and if you will go to applications, where you are going, it's not going to IPS, right? It's going to IS. So by default, as I have told it, now it is running on the identity services infrastructure, and IS is initially part of only IS is part of initially identity services infrastructure. So once you got this identity services, so which tenant you will get? You will get IS tenant. But how you will get the means URL for the IPS? So for getting the and how you will get even authorizations from the URL, right? So I will explain coming to here again, but yeah, how you will understand. So just if you want to access, however, I have given you a URL, but you have no need to remember that. If you have the IS URL, just remove the admin, okay, and add IPS. It's simple. Okay, because the first time I don't know this means URL, right? So that is the using documentation I came to know that okay, new cloud infrastructure are using this. This means you have to okay. It was just taking time, nothing else. Okay, so it was taking time. Now you can say you may get confused as I have. Just for your purpose, I am doing it again. But just it was a little slow, and that's why it's taking time. So you can just be patient and see that in 1 minute approximately it will show you, right? So that is the B. So this is you normally account given to you, and this will be the fix. Means it is not like that for every new account it is coming out on account.ondemand.com, right? And if you are going to use IS, so just use admin. If you are going to use you can say that IPS, so use your IPS, right? So that is the only difference. Now you may understand how I will get access for this, right? So that is the thing. So for getting access to IPS, you have to come this button. I will show in both places how you can go, but yeah, you have to come into authorizations, right? Once you will come to authorizations, so it will ask you that manage user authorizations, and automatically if you will see, if you are going to manage user authorizations, so where it is coming to you, it is bringing you again to IS, right? So this is your manage user authorizations is there. So here user means you came directly to administrator tab. So administrator, if you opening any administrator, like I'm taking example of Manjunath. So if you are having this access, manage identity provisioning, you can log in into here. Okay, you can come and you can log into your IPS. But if you are not having this, you can't log in. Okay, so that is the things I can show you. If anyone want to just you can say test it, I can test it. Who want to test it? Just I want to test the access purpose, so you will understand the authorization. Manjunath, are you there?
Yeah, I have already logged in, so you can change and I can test it.
If you have already logged in, then I'm just trying to. Can you log out and contact system? It's updated. Can you try it again, please?
Okay.
Are you able to log in?
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Yeah, if you are able to log in, then you have to close the session. Sometimes it remember that cookie. Okay. So just for explaining purpose, this all authorizations are giving authorizations for the IS purpose, but last manage identity provisioning access is giving you for the IPS. Means you can understand that how it is interrelated, right? Everything is coming at one place. Means you are starting from the BTP, so you have the services, and these all are bundled tenant. IS and IPS are bundled tenant, and you are getting access from this place only, right? So your authorizations being provided from this. This is true for cloud infrastructure services, not for the BTP new account. That is coming in little different way. Since we don't have right now, I can't show you, but you have no need to even research a lot on that side because that's little being provided in a different way. Okay? But here in cloud identity infrastructure, you have to just come and give access from directly from the admin tab in administrator in you can say IS side. Manjunath, have
Yeah,
you
I am
tried?
able to log in, but I am getting this forbidden error, which I have pasted on the chat.
Yeah, forbidden error. I mean, so you don't have access, right?
Yeah,
That's able to log in. Reason is that still you have the user here, right? So you are
right,
getting authenticated, but forbidden means you are not having authorizations. That must be very clear.
right.
Authentication is a different thing, or authorization is a different thing. We must be clear with these two terminology. Still your user is there, still you're having access for means applications, authentication for application, because IPS is also getting authenticated from here only. So you are getting authenticated, but since you are not having authorizations for managing identity provisioning, so you are not able to access IPS. But now again I am changing it, and you should have it now. I wanted to show you how you it looks like and how means bundle tenant is there, how you can find that bundle tenants. So these are the bundle tenants, and also how means URLs looks like. Okay, now I will go directly to IPS again and show you. I hope you are able to log in IPS, right? Again, Manjunath.
Yes, yes, it is. I am able to log in.
Yeah. So you can find that once you are opening a main page, you will get source system, target system, proxy system, and job logs. As I was and authorizations already I have shown what exactly it is doing, right? So other than this, you have nothing more. Only this means you are creating source systems, you are creating target system, and then you are creating proxies. So three type of configurations you are creating, and then job logs. Job logs means in which case you are running the job. So as I have told that if you are using source target framework, then only you are using the jobs. I have not used source target framework, so and there is no job logs. That's why. So how you can do the job logs? That's I can show you just for the understanding purpose. However, it is not our area right now. But if you are going to any system, you have to go job, okay, and then you can run job, run now, schedule as you wish, resync, simulate, validate. Which type of run? If you are saying that why it is giving run and schedule, because schedule means you can run, you can see job parallelly, right? Parallelly means that on delta basis. If you are saying that resync job means this job means will run again from the initial load, and that's why it's saying resync means it will start from the and it will resync all the data. But if you are using just a read job, so it will use for the can say delta purpose. Surely first time is always initial load, but after that it will just go for the delta run. So that's why it is giving here schedule, but resync is not for the schedule, and other job is not for the schedule. Only read job is for the schedule. So you can schedule only for the source. Once you are using the source automatically in source, wherever source is means you can say added into your target. So automatically it will populate use the target framework. You may ask me that how it is, so that's I will also show you. Just these are not I'm going in very detail, but yeah, how it is working. So if you go to any target system, So in target system, it is mandatory to give the source system. Okay. So if you go to the source system, so like it is giving source system. So assume that you are running job in you will not find job here, right? There is no job options here in target. So job is being run always at the source system level. So if you are running job at source system level, assume that Azure AD is your source system, you are running job. So wherever it is maintained as a source system, for all the system, it will write. Okay. So assume that Azure AD is mentioned for the all two systems. So it will write in all two systems. So you have to be careful that what should be your source system when you are running the job. So that is the way it is working, and whatever you are running the job, that job log can be seen here. But since we haven't run any jobs, you will not find any data here. So that is a job log. You can come and check here. So that is a totally IPS specific. That is a basic understanding I want to give you. Now that is not our job. Our main job is to create the proxy system. So this is the placeholder for our system. So what we are doing, how we are doing, so we are going to create the proxy system. But you may ask that if we are going to create the proxy system, how IAG will understand, right? So a story will not start from the IPS, but the story will start from the IAG side, right? So for that, I will just explain the process, what exact process is, and then for that, I will go again to our first slide. Okay. So you can see that. So what are the steps? Till here I have tried to describe. So a step is like that. First step is you have to set up a proxy, IPS proxy into your BTP sub account. That is where IAG is there, right? So that is the first step. Then you have to create an application in IPS proxy, and then you have to add those application into IAG, and in last you have to run the sync and job. That is a normal thing, right? So it is a four stage, you can see four step process. So now I will start with the first step, that is called IPS proxy setup, and what exactly here you are doing, that's I am trying to show. So since this step is already done and it's not a, you can say a step that can be done again and again, I will just try to. So you have to come into your BTP sub account, that is your IIG demo 11 December, and once you come here, you have to go into destinations. And this is your IPS proxy. I will explain each and every term. Remember that you should always use this as standard wording because this is being read by the system. Okay, so once you are going to create, so nothing more, you have to just click on the new destinations. Simple as you have created last time destination. So same way you have to create it. You have to just create on new destinations. So I will, and once you will come to new destinations, you have to come here and you have to give this name is a standard. Try to use always IPS proxy. Okay, and then type is HTTP. Descriptions you can give anything. I have just given SAP IPS proxy. This is important. What URL you are giving here? So that is URL for the uh, initially this was the major problem. Okay, so what URL we should use, because earlier when we used to BTP, so URL was little different because our infrastructure was different. I can tell you that environment was different. IPS was running on some different environment and IS was running some different environment. But in this case you can find that your user means, you can say your this account is here, and this means this is nothing but IS account. And again you may ask that what is this user ID password. For that you have to go to, so you know that for that authorization, since everything, if you want to access to IPS, so where access should be provided, Can anyone help me? Just now, few minutes back, and I think earlier also we have explained that you want to get access to the same URL, right? That is access URL for the your IS. So which means what authorization required? Where you need to create your means your user ID, and means you can say admin user ID.
Under administrators.
Exactly. So right now, what I am trying to explain you, please be clear with this concept. Either you are accessing IS or you are accessing IPS. Both are running on the same infrastructure. So your administrator will be also at the same place. Clear? So who administrator, like you are the administrator, so you are having the same place, right? Only authorization can be different, but your users should be at the same place. Means for either logging into IS or IPS, do you require two different places of your means your user ID at two different places? Answer will be no, because that is running on the same infrastructure. That's I'm trying to make you clear, right? So that's why, even though if we are trying to access IPS, so that's in that case, that where should we get user ID and password from where? So answer is very clear that we have to create our user ID in IS only, right? So for that you have to come and you have to come into administrators. Here two types of ID you are creating, right? One is user ID, that is normal for the, you can say, in it is, we are not using any dialog type of user, but a dialog user like that, end user like us, right? So we are using this. But if you are trying to access applications, if you are trying to means reach out to IS even, or reach out to, you can say, any other applications, right? So in that case, what you require, you have to require a system type of user, right? So here, if you are creating administrators, you are creating system type of administrator. Just for the testing purpose, I will create I think I have created one more, right? In last, you remember? Or
Yes, yes.
right? So
For
if you
SCI
have
user groups.
yeah, so but if you want to see, I can create one more, not a problem. So system user, nothing, just you have to give the name. I have used lot of user here, so I will just use, I don't want to confuse, just for the, okay. So this is a one user I want to create. Now you can find that, just save it. I will show you that which the access wise you can manage later. Just save it, nothing you have to do. But it is just, it is not going to help you, right? You have created test IS, but you require some user ID to, you can say, integrate, who can integrate to here. So there is a two way. Either you have to, means interchange the certificate, means you have to take the certificate from somewhere and upload it here. If you are not knowing about that, okay, if you are not very aware about the certificates, then come to secret, okay, and you can generate a circuit secret. It's very simple. Just come and click here, but always remember here, right? Assume that I want to make it expire via 2 year. Just save it. Once you will save it, you will find this client ID and client secret. Okay. So these details will be required. So remember that this details is required in if you want to use it in any future communications. So this is very important, and you can't get it. Only thing, either you have to delete this secret, or you have to or you have to add new secret, but you can't get it once it is, you have clicked on OK. You never get it this secret second time. Okay. So you can copy it from here directly as well. I have just copied here. So make sure you have a secret client. You will not able to retrieve it from the system later, right? So once I have clicked on OK, it is showing that it will expire in January 6, 2025, as I have given 2 years. But now if you will try to get the password for this, you can't get it. Okay, but client ID is always visible. Okay, so client ID will be visible. You can see that client ID is visible here, but you will not get the password. So that is a very important if you are creating uh, any new user and generating especially passwords, you can say secret for that. So that point of time, please note down and save somewhere in password or somewhere, right, where you have the mechanism. So save those things. Okay, so this client ID secret is important.
Prakash, can you extend the date, like after adding everything?
No,
Expiration date we added for 2 years, no? So
you can't do
after
anything.
2 years,
Yeah.
2 years after we can able to add it, extend it, or otherwise we can able to add system again.
Means this can't be extended. You can't do anything with this. So if you have to use after 2 years, you have to create a new system user and use that.
Okay.
Means sorry, you have to just create a new secrets. Understand my point? User will be same. Understand? User will be same. You have to just use the new secrets.
That is like the certificate exchange handshake, right?
Yeah,
Right.
1 year or 2 year or never.
exactly. 1 year, 2 year, or never. Normally, as a standard practice, you should have limited, or as means if you are keeping never. If you are keeping 1 year or 2 years, so surely you have to maintain it. But yeah, in cloud applications, we are normally keeping 1 year, 2 years because we can't give it as a level type of thing. So this way you are getting the client ID and secret for your user. Okay, and this will be used any places in your integration. I will use this type of user ID two place, just one for the creating IPS proxy. You can find that this is your URL, internet basic authentication. This is user ID and password. I can't show you the password, but yeah, I can say you that this is user ID and which user ID, if you want to know which user I'm going to, because it is not readable. To go to
Sorry, can
admin,
I ask a question?
yes, Yod.
Where do you get the URL?
URL is for the IS. This is your URL, right? Or even IPS. This is the same URL. If you go to home, this is your URL, right?
Mm.
This is the same URL I'm using because I'm explaining that is I'm trying to make you understand that IS and IPS both are running on the same infrastructure, right? So since it is running on the same infrastructure, so this is your URL, right? I will explain few things other as additional properties, but as of now, this is URL where you are trying to reach out, and for reaching out to this URL, you require user and ID password, and for that we have generated a user ID password from here, right? So you have the user ID password now, and same type of user ID password I have generated earlier, okay? And I can just show you that if you'll go to admin and if you want to save that which user ID, you can see that there are not multiple. So if I don't remember which user I have used, I use sync or I have used I use connect or which one I have used, you have IPS user. So for that you can go and check that secret. Secret is saying B9, client ID is this one B98. You can find that there is a two means secret is being used, but user ID is client ID is only one. Here it will name as a client ID secret. Just remember that same client ID secret is nothing but user ID and password. Okay, so here it is naming as a client ID and secret, and you can say any places if you are going to the that is using auth concept, so that is using as a client ID and secret. So here it is naming as a client ID secret. Okay, so client ID will be same, but if you want to add secrets, assume that same client ID you want to use 2-3 places and you want different secrets. You can use different secrets. Just give the description so that later on you can understand that which secrets you are using, just for the your understanding purpose. Now this is the not client we are using, so we will go again and check that which things we are using. Okay, so I have seen IPS sync, IPS user I am not using, IAG connect, IAG connect I am. So you can see that this is a 4.2 B5, and I think this is the, if you will copy it,
No, it's test.
yeah. So this is the ID I'm using, right? So IAG connect, right? Sorry, where it is? Yeah. So this is the IAG connect. This ID, but you can't give this name. This is name just for the reading at the IS level. we have to always use this client ID and secrets. Okay, here you are creating name with the IAG connect, but your actual secrets name, that is alphanumeric and some, I think, 32 characters. So that you have to use a client ID secret from here. So only the time I have generated, I have received it and I have saved it, but we can't see it now. So that user ID and password I have used. So via this, using this, you are able to reach to IS, means your infrastructure, IS or IPS infrastructure. But only that is not going to solve your problem, right? Because you're just reaching it here. So what should be the end point? Always, if you are working with the REST API in bold, REST API bold, so you should know the end point of your, you can say, access. So what you are trying to access, right? So just giving this is not going to help you. So for, if you are trying to read the group, so then give I think slash groups, right? So after that automatically add groups, right? And then if you are trying to use users, then give at users, right? And then service URL is means like that. Not only this is working, if you are trying to use the scheme API or things, so you have to means use this service API as a system name that I will show you using one configuration how we are doing. So how our URL is being created, you can see that it's looking very fractured. It's not at one place, but I will explain. So our concept is like that. You are giving this URL, okay, and then service URL, right? So it is creating your, now it is a scheme URL. Using this, even though I am just trying to tell you that if it is a normal system, I can say that this should be the perfect. After that, if you are giving users or if you are giving, you can say that groups, you can find it. But our case is IPS proxy. Means we are clearly declaring that we are not using directly IPS, because this is just we are reaching out to IPS, right? But we are using IPS proxy, right? If you are using IPS proxy, then we have to give one system ID name. Anything, just for the example purpose, I will take any system name here. Okay, anything like something here. So assume that this is system ID. I will explain this later as well. Okay, that is your system ID, and then in last you have to give either users or groups, whatever. So that is the configuration right now completely I'm trying to explain you. So this is the REST API, means for this is the complete URL being created for you. Fine. So means you are creating this IPS proxy. So complete configuration is trying to reach out to this. Okay, clear?
So, Prakash, but how do we get that
Yeah.
service URL?
How you can?
How do we get that? See, we are giving there, right, that URL.
You mean this service URL?
Yes, 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 yes.
Service URL is not like that. As I have told that it's totally means designed via you can say SAP. It's not like that I am giving from myself. Anywhere in documentation you can find it. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like that. That's why I have given clearly in documentation. It is by documentation. There are the mandatory additional properties required for the IPS service URL. You have to give this. It is fixed. It is not like that for your system different or for my system different. It is everywhere same. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
But let's think this will be changed. URL will be changed, right? But service URL will be always same.
So all these additional properties are also fixed as per the documentation, Prakash.
Exactly. These are fixed. I'm not giving
Right.
anything from my side.
Okay.
This all are fixed. How it means only thing URL you have to, you can say only thing URL will be changed for all of you. Remaining all thing will be changed. Surely client ID password will also change, right? So URL, client ID, password, this will change. Remaining all thing will be same for all of you. If you
Yep.
are configuring any IPS proxy in your environment. But
User
remember
point
that,
of it.
yeah, tell me.
Just to be sure I understand you, the URL, the user, and the password will change from person to person, correct?
No, it's not like that person to person. I am right now what I am trying to do, Didi, right? I am trying to create a IPS proxy. It is a one time configuration. Okay. I am
Mm.
saying that assume that you are working for some other client or some other customer. you are setting up their IPS proxy. So these three things will be changed, right? Remaining
Okay, from
things
a
will be
client
same.
to client, yeah.
Yeah, means client to client, means for one IAG setup, it is the same, right? Same for everyone.
And how to get the user?
User,
Yes.
I think just now I explained in very detail, right?
Please don't give up on us. I mean, it's all new, so we might be asking a lot of stupid questions. Be patient with us, please.
Yeah,
Here,
no, I can help you. Not a problem. See, I'm trying. I was explaining this thing. Means user ID is nothing but which your system user you are creating in IS account, right? Admin user.
no. Like Prakash, in the notepad you copied something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. In that, the client ID is nothing but a user, right?
exactly. Client
Yes.
ID is your user ID, and client secret is your password.
Okay. That means like IPS will use for majorly use for integrate the systems.
Exactly. As I
And
have told, IPS main job is to do the provisioning. Okay.
provisioning for which kind of system? So on premises it is not support, right?
No, on premises also it's supporting.
On premises also it's supporting. Okay.
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
any get
It's
a chance to show that on premises also in IPS provisioning?
see if time permits, I can show you, but it will be the same process how I have done with the IAG, because see IAG have some limitations, and for via IAG I can't show you success. Reason is like that IAG is not giving. I will just come in a 1 minute. I will show you in details and explain why not. Okay.
Okay. And one more small question. So I'm interrupting
Yeah.
you. So I understand that you client ID is nothing but a user ID. How we can get it? I seen that already. But my intention is so we already in BTP we establish a connection between GRC to IAG. So
Yeah.
GRC to IAG we are established the communication through BTP and maintain the HTTP and RFC connection through we maintain. But
Hmm.
how IFS IPS will be help to us? So already we can BTP through we can able to establish a connection. No. So what added advantage in IPS?
Yeah, that's a, see if you have to. I have told clearly that uh, we have integration scenarios, different type of integration scenario, and how IAG integrating with those applications. One way IAG integrating via, if there is any on-premise applications, it is directly integrating via SAP Cloud Connector. If it is any cloud applications, it is integrating via Identity Provisioning Service, means IPS, right? So if you have to integrate success factor, if you have to integrate Azure AD, if you have to integrate Ariba, if you have to integrate S4 HANA Cloud, if you have to integrate any cloud applications, you require IPS.
Okay. Cloud application, especially cloud application point of it, we can able to use the IPS.
Exactly.
Okay, and so we can able to integrate in on-premises also in IPS. So
Hmm.
we can able to skip the BTP on-prem section there itself also integration.
Reason is that IPS is not only designed for IAG. Understood my point.
Okay,
IPS
got it, clear.
IPS is not only designed for IAG. IPS
Okay,
is designed even without working IAG, right? Assume that
yes.
some customer is not having IAG, right? They are just having S4 HANA Cloud and their data source is Azure AD, right?
Okay,
And
right,
they want to write
understood.
in S4 HANA Cloud, and they want to write even in S4 HANA system on premise. So for that, it will not require to go IAG, right? It will just create a connection from Azure AD as a
Is there
source and S4 HANA Cloud or S4
is
HANA
this
system as
target
a
system?
target system. In
Correct.
that case, S4 HANA, if it is on-premise system, so that will follow the identity provisioning IPS integration scenario.
Okay,
Clear.
clear.
But IAG is a different system. IAG itself have their own connector for S4 HANA or on-premise system. So it is not using IPS for the on-premise system.
Okay, understand.
Yeah, Prakash,
Yeah.
just a request. Can that certificate exchange can be shown? Because we have seen this secret key. There is certificate option also, right? Can that be shown?
Since I don't have the certificate, I can't show it, but as you have asked that, I will try to get it from somewhere, okay, and create it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So now I was trying to explain that IPS proxy. So any doubt till it. So this is a one-time configuration. What I was trying to tell you that this is a one-time configuration. You have to set up one-time IPS proxy, like you have done one-time configuration for SAP Cloud Connector. Right? You have connected integration SAP Cloud Connector with your. So same way, this is a one-time connection IPS proxy. You have to create it. Clear?
Yeah.
Is it clear or not? So it is a one time. It is not like assume that tomorrow you have to connect 50 applications. No need to come every time, come here and create IPS proxy. No, all 50 applications will be directly integrated here, and I will show you. Means already I have done 2 3, right? So how many applications you are trying to integrate? Every time you have no need to go in destinations and create destinations. Come in identity provisioning, create applications directly here, and how we can access those applications into IAG, that we can show you. Okay, so that is the right time to take a small break, and we will be back via 8:30. Will not take a longer break. And one more thing I will tell you that I will use any of the SAP Cloud platform who are we have created in our second session. Okay, so please open those things and means if you don't want to take a break, just be ready with that, because I want to show you, and you can also add your applications here. So just I want to means you can say show you that. So surely I will try to first add what I have done, and I will show you that how it can run. It's really complex, but after that, if time permits, you can do it from yourself, right? And you can add your applications as well. But one applications I will try to add it here, any one of your applications, adding it here with our IAG. Okay, so that is a goal here. So please be ready with your setup, and you can try it later as well for integrating your applications. But one applications I will try to board on here. Is it fine? Can we back in few minutes by 8:30?
Yep, sure.
Thanks
Yes.
everyone. Hi everyone, who are back? Can you raise your hand? Am I audible? Okay, I hope all are back, right? Not it? Who want to work with me? Who want to onboard your system with IAG? Your trial account. No one are interested? Hello? Okay, so once I will again do a up. Who are back? Please raise your hands so that we can go ahead. Janvi is
Prakash,
back.
I'm back.
Who is speaking?
Ravi
Shankar, Ravi Shankar.
Yes.
Yeah, Ravi. Your voice is looking like you are speaking from somewhere distance.
Now can I able to hear clearly?
Still, it looks like that you are speaking from somewhere far places. Okay.
Is it everyone we are having getting voice is very
No,
low?
no, now your voice is far better.
Oh,
It's
okay. Just now reconnected the headphones.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so just I'm asking that, see, right now I have just created IPS proxy. That is a one time. I can't do that configuration again and again. But I want to show the any cloud applications up onboarding onto IAG. Uh, Starting from except the IPS proxy configuration that I have already shown and tried to discuss in detail. But yeah, remaining steps are common for all the applications. So whoever will who can help me, because I want to do with the at least we have one application that is BTP applications, right? So we have created BTP applications in our second session. So who have the BTP applications? Anyone of you can volunteer and we can proceed here. No one want to volunteer?
Means Pratap, Prakash,
Just
in BTP we have
I will
IAS.
guide you. Yeah, means you have BTP account, right?
Yeah.
BTP trial account, which we have created, I think, in our second session.
Okay.
So that's means that's I want to onboard with the IAG. That is our goal. Means you will understand that how we can do it. Understood or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So who want to?
So can I try Prasanna here?
Why not? You can also
Yeah.
try. Anyone? I'm opening it to everyone. Who want to? Who can come to me first? I will go with them. Okay. So
Let
if
me
you are
see.
doing Prasanna, then you have to share your screen for some
Okay.
time, so that
Yeah.
I can guide you initial steps. After that, I will do from my side and show everyone.
Yeah, sure. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, now your screen is visible.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to your instances and subscriptions.
Yeah.
No. You had opened a BTP trial account, BTP account that is IAG is running. I am not saying about this. I am saying about we have created one BTP trial account, right? In our second
Yeah.
season. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is means this is IAG application. This is purely we have to onboard, and I think
So that individual trial account you are saying?
exactly your on trial account. I think it should not go to yeah. Yeah, this is your trial account, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine. So go to your trial account. Team, you can see that here means everything you will understand. It will also recall little bit BTP. Go to your trial account down. It is under sub account. It is a trial region, right?
Yeah.
Trial. Just click on trial. Okay. And go to services. Okay. Instances and subscriptions. You have already a business applications studio subscribe, right? That's nice.
Yeah.
Go to row security. I'm trying to check what authorizations you are having in your security. Just go to security, go to role collections. So as per your subscriptions you should have. You have the roles for the business application studio. First 3 roles are for the business application studio, right? And
Yeah.
remaining are for the normal BTP platform. That's fine. And then go to Cloud Foundry, or you can go to Cloud Foundry, please, under the services. Go to spaces. I don't. You have enabled your Cloud Foundry. I think you have enabled.
Not yet.
That's why you have dev and LBG dev. Go to your dev account. Dev spaces. Yeah, dev spaces. This. Yeah. Click on dev. Yeah, you're not having any. Go to services. On yeah, service marketplace. What I am trying to tell you that for adding any, it is a Cloud Foundry. That is very clear that it is a Cloud Foundry sub account. So in Cloud Foundry sub account, we are trying to onboard this Cloud Foundry sub account on the IAG side, right? So here, what is the goal? Goal is that, and how we can do it. So our authorization is being managed via XSUAA. That is called extended user authorization and authentications, right? So that is XSUAA, and for that we require an instance. So if you will go little down or go little down this side, services marketplace, no? You may find multiple services. So you have to check authorization and trust management, or you can search on top as well. Why it is not displaying to you? Authorization and search authorization. Yeah, it is there. So it is authorization and trust management. Click on create. Yeah, click on create. Select a plan. Select a plan. It should be the API access. You are trying to access via API, so select API access, and then give some name. Some in small letters only. You can give some name. You can give anything. XSUA access, whatever you want to give some name. Not a problem. Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem. Just click on create.
Yeah.
So it's creating authorization and trust management service for you, because if you are trying to reach out to any BTP account, so this is the placeholder. This instance should be there. Now you can click on view instance. Okay. So this is mandatory step to do. Means even though some application is running, I have already shown you that you are running a application that is called Business Application Studio, but you can't directly reach out to, because any application can run. You are running some application or services, but you must have some instance where it is reaching out to for authorization and means authentication purpose. And in this BTP we are having XS USA, it means XS extended UAA. Anyhow means name wise you can give any name, but this is the what we are trying to get. We are trying to get API access for this. So we have selected the plan API access, and then on actions where right now you click, you have to find that, click on create service key. Yeah, create service key. So give some name in service key again, all on a small letter you should give. You can give any name, service key something. Yeah, you can give not a problem. Yeah, now click on create. So it's not only for guys, we are connecting from the IAG. Tomorrow you are working with the BTP. Any applications running on the BTP requires to reach out to BTP sub account only, right? For BTP sub account, you should have authorization and trust management instance, and you are always reaching out to authorization and this means trust management instance only. For that, you have to create an instance for that, and you have a generate for service key. Once you are able to generate a service key, using those service key, you will able to find, you will able to reach out to them. Go to service key, click on this SRKY, and this is you.
For both Neo and Cloud Foundry applications also it will work, Prakash. The same procedure.
It is I have told initially that we are working for Cloud Foundry connections. Neo will work in a different way. Right now I'm doing integration with the Cloud Foundry.
Okay.
Yeah, it means for different type of applications, every different applications, it is a different process to get the, means you have to get the client ID secret there as well, but process is little different. This process is for the Cloud Foundry specific.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you can click on copy JSON, and then you have to either you can ping me, means, or you can say how you can give it, because it is a secret things. However, if you want, you can ping into chat box. Okay, it is not a harm, but yeah, it is a secret thing. Normally it should be kept secret in productive environment. We are using as a trial, so not a problem, but yeah, means it should be kept secret, because these are the service key. Okay, so this is the task you have to do as a prerequisite if you want to integrate Cloud Foundry applications. Nowadays most of the applications running on the Cloud Foundry, it may be possible that your environment will be different. In that case you have to follow little different process. Here we are trying to get the client ID secret. That is the main goal here. Okay, once you are able to get the client ID secret, remaining process will be same, which I am going to show you into the system, means our side. So what we have done, right now Prasanna have a account SAP BTP, and what is his goal? He's trying to do access management via IAG, right? So he want to onboard that application. That is normally we are doing, right? Means if you are GRC or onboarding that application into, you can say that either GRC or in IAG applications. Tomorrow some client will come to you and can ask that I have to onboard this application into IAG. So what can be the process? I am just giving one example. Here we are nothing we are trying. We are just trying to get some uh, basic details like that client ID, client secret, some URL. So this type of things we are trying to fetch out. Surely for different applications, it may be little different, but main goal is to find the details to reach out the system. So whenever any client is coming to you or any customer to coming to you and asking that I want to onboard this application into IAG, so first question should be that what should be their endpoint, means URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is the URL, what is the client ID, what is authentication they are following. Are they following auth 2? Are they following basic authentication? Are they following bearer token? What they following? So you need to understand these basic things, right? According to your authentications, little bit this thing will get changed. Okay, here we are trying to follow that OAuth 2 service token. That is our BTP is following. That is following the OAuth, right? So accordingly, it is generated. Key is generated. So I have all the details, and I will explain what exactly what those details are, right? So those details are there. Now I will share my on-screen persona. Thanks a lot for
Yeah,
helping me.
thank you.
Okay, these details are sufficient to go ahead. These things I will come later. First, I will try to do the configuration. So as I have explained, now you want to on IPS proxy. And I have told that IPS proxy will not created again and again. Only you have to check that IPS proxy connection is created or not. Surely, if you are not the first connection, if you are not making the first connection, then it will be IPS proxy is already created. If you are making the first connection, that it may be possible that IPS proxy is not created, right? So this task you have to perform if it is not created. But if you find that IPS proxy is already created, so no need to do that. So you have to start from the second task. And what is the second task? So second task, as you have I explained that you have to find all the details from the target applications. In this case, we have tried to find out the persona SAP trial account, all details from there. Okay, and then you have to come here, this IPS simple IPS home page is there. Okay, so this is your home page. You have to go to the proxy systems, right? In proxy systems you have to go, and I will explain all the parameters. So be keep patient with me, every parameter is very important. Okay, but before going to, so you have to go to proxy systems, right? Sorry, we are already in proxy system. It's a very simple process. You have to go add, click on add, and first you have to select here the type of system. Okay, as you were asking, I don't remember who have asked me, but you can see that I am trying to connect SAP BTP Access Advanced EUA, right? And this is Cloud Foundry. If you are using new, so new is also having some different type of, okay, even SAP BTP web environment is having different. So all having the different, little bit different you are having. But yeah, main goal is to find all the details. Right now we have already find all the details for this. So I'm trying to go and integrate this one. Okay, so this you have to, this is very important, which type of applications you are trying to integrate, right? In some cases you may not find the application exactly. In that case, protocol is important, right? Like it may be possible to some LDAP server, right? Some LDAP type of who's following the LDAP protocol. It may be possible that some is a scheme system, right? Means if any, because nowadays most of the cloud applications are following a scheme protocol. Okay, so either it can be a scheme protocol, either it can be a LDAP protocol. So it is not like that only these systems are getting supported. Once you are saying that a scheme means at least 90% of applications are following the scheme protocol. So you are almost supporting all type of application in this world, right? Using this. So you have to just be means so careful which type of systems you are going to authenticate, which type of system you're trying to onboard into your you can say IAG. So we have selected, we know that just for the naming purpose, I will give PRS and BTP account as I am selecting BTP just for the understanding purpose. Nothing have a matter means I have persona. So same way, if you are integrating, you can give name like this so that tomorrow if some problem is happening, we can check on that side. So you have to save it. Right now you can see that as soon as you will click on save, a system ID is being generated. And this is very important. I will explain in the last, but yeah. And once you have saved it, you have found a lot of things have been generated. Read transformation, write transformations, properties. You can see that read transformation, write transformation is already generated. I will explain these things in detail. Details you have given, that is the basic things which you have given. We have type of system, name, whatever we have tried to give it. Properties, this is the most important thing because via this you are trying to reach out to the some applications, right? So assume that you have to reach out to some applications. How can you reach out to, right? You may be working every day to day connections. So what are the details basically required? So now you need to understand for this type of things. Surely documentation will help you. Every time you should always follow that standard documentation given by SAP, because sometimes properties having very importance on that side. Okay, but yeah, basic things we must have understanding, right? What things we require? Surely we require URL, we require some, you can say client ID secret, and that's why I have told that I have started with the persona, and he has given the details, right? I don't know, I'm not copying. I'm not able to copy it. Yeah, tenant mode. I think few things I missed. Tenant mode. Where is client ID? Client secret. Okay, yeah, fine. Here I will show you how it is very important. What are the most important things? So you are using client ID, right? So client ID is nothing but your user ID, and that is very much important. So I will jot it down so that you will be very clear. Lot of details are there. All are not so much important. Then client secret. This will be utilized as a user ID password, and then URL will be utilized for your URL purpose for BTP. Okay, and since it is following OAuth 2, so for that purpose, it will take authentication.us.ua domain URL authentication. This one. This I have already copied, right? URL. There is one API URL. This one for the API URL purpose. This one is being used. A lot of things are there. Tenant ID, Zone ID. This is just coming for the your knowledge purpose. Sub account ID, sub URL, all are giving. But these are the of your use. You have to use. You have to reach out to you. You can see applications, right? So these are the basic details. You have to keep it. Again, you have to utilize that. You can say URL. URL means that OAuth 2 URL. I will show you all type of uh, authentications or things we are going to do. But yeah, first that. So now here, that is a main placeholder. We have to look into that. Go to edit mode and start adding the things. Okay, add standard. Lot of things will come up to you. Since I have added, so it's giving me help. I am little so like that. Auth type, right? Which type of auth you want to use? Authentications, OAuth 2 token service URL, password, proxy type, URL, user. Even I will honestly say that I don't remember all the things, right? So that's why I'm saying that always follow the documentation. Okay, so documentation is always helpful if you are trying to do it. Surely you will, as soon as you will start doing more applications, most of the things you will know. Few things if you will not able to understand, you can go and check the documentation what exactly purpose is. Right now we are trying to do it like authentication. If I will say, then which type of authentication? Basic authentication, standard. Means only I will show you what other type of properties is. If I have given basic authentication, we require what? We require user, right? So what is user? This is our user. Then you have to add. If you are adding password, then you have to give the credentials, right? So password will ask password, and password will be your client secret. Now you have to give the URL, right? These are the most important thing you are giving right now, right? So URL is your, other than that, let me check quickly if I have. Let me correct myself. URL we are giving as a API authentication, and OAuth 2 service URL we are giving that I will explain how we are creating it. Okay, so you have to give OAuth 2 token service URL. So how you are building it? Okay, so this is the major, you can say, important parameters here.
You were correct before.
Yeah, tell me. Someone has told something. Sorry. So these are the important value you are giving. So now this list have been, you can say that, exhausted. So these are the most important thing which you are giving. As of now, first I will try to save it. have given, this is coming by a default, keep it, not a problem. Auth token we have given password, we have given URL, and we have given user ID, right? So it will take automates alphabetically. Okay, so few more things you have to give, which type of proxy type and what other details are it taking. So proxy type, and just for the purpose, because I don't remember all the, so I can just take the proxy type and its internet. We have to add some more credentials like type HTTP. I have done this password scheme. I will explain these things or all the parameters. This is for making your delta true, means patching operations, and then one more thing you have to just copy person now. Okay, if you will go to that identity provider, I think it should be SAP default. Just can you check me and confirm me that it is SAP default for you as well? Here, the identity provider. Okay.
Yeah, let me check.
It should be this, but just check it. This, I think, is done. Filter enabled, and then is it SAP default origin persona?
Where exactly we need to check, Pradesh?
You have to go to your BTP account and then
Okay.
under security,
Security
okay,
trust.
trust
Yes.
configuration. Under trust configuration, you will find this. Okay. So these are the values. Before going to next, I will try to explain these things. What exactly meaning of these things, right? So OAuth token to a service just trying to reach out to. Okay, so it is generating the token OAuth token. Okay, using the client ID and secret. So this is the means we are creating. You can say we are trying to reach out to means that BTP sub account. So this is giving you a BTP sub account. It is giving you that. You can say that token, using that tokens you are reaching out to URL. That is you. This is your URL. It's not having auth taken. So this is that is a process, and client ID secrets as you have found it from there, right? Proxy type internet scheme patch operations. This is the means you can say surely as we have told, if you're following the scheme operation between IEC and IPS patch, if you are making it true, means every time if any update is happening, so that is going to patch it. Otherwise, if anyone is coming from the some API, even I'm not expert of API side, but yeah, you know that patch and put operation differences. If you are going to just get the put operation, means if you are not using this patch operation as a true, so what is happening every time it will write the whole data, right? So patching means that you are just trying to you can say that uh, patch the data, or you can say update the data in a normal way. Type is HTTP. This is URL, user ID. This origin is trying to tell you that what is your identity provider, right? So which identity provider you are using, from where your user is coming out, and it is just saying that make if you are using this, so it is making as true as it is enabled. And this again just means discussing that same thing, means that is about the user. If any new user is coming into this identity provider, so that is again patching is making as a so this is again being used for the that purpose. Again, I will tell you that I will come to those place again. This things are not like that I'm expert of all the IPS properties, but lot of properties are there. You need to understand. You need to go through. You need to read the documents, and as per means these properties are, you can say, changing your behavior, system behavior, your connection behavior. Like that, we used to do parameter setting in SAP GRC. Same way here, property setting, it is almost setting your, you can say, high level behavior of your system, how your system will fetch the data, how your system will write. So all things are being decided by the properties here. So connections is not about only about the user ID password. That is the basic connections you are creating. Lot of things again being described based on the properties. How you are changing the property, your data may get changed accordingly, right? So that is means if you want to go in very detail, if you want to go do some research on the IPS side, surely I will show you that placeholder and some, you can say, uh, properties as well. I will show you that what exactly these properties are doing, and you can go and do that things as well, right? Understand those things as well. I will explain. Anyhow, as of now, I have just created these applications, and as a first level, I can go and means you can add it to our next task. But just for the purpose, I am trying to show you this. We have created a proxy, right? So what proxy means? I'm trying to make you understand what proxy means. Proxy means like that this applications, using this applications, I can fetch data, I can read in some system, and I can write in, means I can read from some system and write to that system, right? And that is how it is being done, simply using the REST API, right? So if it is can be done via a REST API, so any API, any tool which can send the REST API, means you can say protocol, and can read the protocol, so that's API can use IPS proxy to read and write data from the target application. So for that purpose, first I will show that if you are using any REST API tool like Postman or something, you should be able to access it, right? So what is exactly the setup? So first I will show you the setup. Okay, I have created for different system, but yeah, just for the, I will create a new request here. So I'm trying to create a new request, and what should be the, I have just taught you how to create the URL, right? So this is our URL. We are trying, this is our IPS URL, right? And then IPS proxy, we are using this IPS proxy service API scheme, and then we are giving the system name, and then users or groups, whatever data you are trying to fetch out, I am giving this, right? Surely I will this system ID I will change, because this is for some different system. So from where you are going to this system ID, right? So this system ID is nothing but this system ID which is generated for you for your BTP account. This is generated, right? Copy this and then just change it. So you are able to get this, means now our URL have been set up. So we are able to get these things, right? This is our IPS. Then we are using IPS proxy service API. then it is just saying version 1 scheme, and this is our applications and which type of data we are trying to use, users or what. Now we have to give the client ID secret. Client ID secret which you are just using basic authentication. By default, if I'm using it is copying from here. So if you want to change it, you can change it, but we don't require because it is the same user ID password which is being used for my other configuration. So that is given. If my configuration is correct, then I should able to get something. If not, then surely we have to check our connection. I think so. Now what I have given users, okay. So you can find, yeah, right. So just you in front of you we have created these connections, and you can find that right now items showing 2 active primary false value. Is it correct? Correct mail ID, Prasanna? SAP NW
Yes,
mail,
yes,
right?
yes. Yeah.
Correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have been assigned as a sub account administrator there. Okay, your family name and this name is coming. Origin is SAP default because your user ID is being created in SAP site. Okay, and then remaining detail June ID, and you are also having groups. I think business application studio developer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can check that parallelly. Means these details are coming that you can directly check into SAP BTP trial account. So you can understand that right now I'm able to read these details from Persona BTP trial account. And how? Not directly via IPS proxy. Means IPS proxy, using IPS proxy. So same thing IAG will do. IAG will nothing do differently. These things details have been given to IAG. How? I will explain. Okay. Now I will show for users as well. Sorry, groups. So whatever groups are available, I think total 8 or 9 groups, including business application studio. So you can find that 9 groups are there, and all the groups which is available there. So that is showing here means authorizations, right? So all the authorizations you can find, all 9 items are showing here. Sub account service administrator, then this is destination administrator, then this is you can say sub account viewer, and I think all other applications. If it is cloud connector business, I'm just trying to find business application. Yeah, business application studio developer. So it is means all the authorization which is available in this that BTP trial account, it's now displaying to you. Means I can tell you that connection from IPS proxy to BTP trial account is established. So that is correct, there is no problem. And I am trying to show you via this way that via API tool, I am able to read the data. Same way, if you will try to put the data, you can write as well. I don't want to use anything and write directly. Surely we will, once we will use IAG, we will try to do that. But if anyone have the knowledge of the, you can say API tool, and you know that how to use the, you can say that your schema for writing that, or you can say your load means how you are writing the load. So you can write the schema, you can write the schema correct, because in putting in writing the, you should write the correct schema, then you can, it can write it to that. So that is the purpose to just showing it here. Means using same process. Right now I'm trying to use via API tool. Our, you can say IAG also trying to get the data from the IPS. Nothing. It's not like a rocket science. So now what we have to do, I will again explain you that our this connections, right? So what we have done, what we have means what I have shown you here. So same thing it is trying to create via this BTP IPS proxy connection, right? So once you have created IPS proxy, so it's doing nothing. See, it is giving this URL, right? It is giving basic authentication, which you have given same here. It is putting it in last groups and users, right? And then it is giving service URL as well, right? So same thing it's doing. It's not doing anything differently, but it is doing one time. Its setup means setup is have been done so that once it is trying to send the REST API, it will create automatically that URL and try to fetch the data, right? So that is the purpose. Same way IPS proxy which you have created, nothing but like this REST API is being done, right? So same that is done. Once it is done, then how, one thing is still missing. You may understand that you have given me everything, but where we are giving this ID, right? So we have to give this ID as well. Understood what I'm trying to tell you? I have given each and everything, but for which system it will read, right? For which system it will read? Because
Sorry, can I ask a
IPS,
question? That link on in the gates, the whole long link in the gates. Can you scroll up? No, not this place. The other one. Yes. Did you paste? Did you copy and paste this whole link here, or it's just the last bit that you overwrite?
which one you are asking me? From
Where
where?
you have gates, the whole link
Uh,
where you have gates. Yeah.
no, I
I
have not.
see that you consolidated it from the other page. Now, did you copy it from here and paste it inside the gate, or you
Yeah,
just you
no.
did?
I have consolidated it and I have pasted it. Same thing is working.
Okay, you pasted it also in the page for the proxy.
No, if you will see that here, it is not like that working simple API tool, right? It is creating IPS proxy like that. So internally, it is creating means I am doing for myself. I am adding these things, right? But these systems, you have to give all these details. It is automatically working in that way. Understood?
Okay, so you
Inside
didn't
application.
copy it yourself. You didn't
No,
paste
I
it
have not
yourself.
copied. I have not copied all these details here, right? These details means we have just provide all details like I have given service URL, I have given whatever
Mm-hmm.
the end points like that, either groups or user. So whatever type of data it's trying to fetch, it will fetch accordingly, right? It is not like that API tool. Here it is working a connection, IPS proxy, and internally their program is like that. They are creating all the things, right? They are giving URL and working like that.
Also,
Clear?
so yeah. So you didn't have to put anything under the system automatically updated it. You only changed the last bit. No.
No, last thing I have told that one point is missing. Like I have given all these things, right?
Yeah,
But
I
here
understand
we
this
have not.
part. I understand this page very well. My question is on the other one,
Yeah.
the proxy.
What is question? Can you explain me in detail?
No, not here. Where
Not
you
then
have
where
is it here?
Now
No,
go
not
to
here.
Postman, Prakash, Postman.
postman.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
here now.
yeah.
Yes. So my question is, the system was fed from all the information we've provided when we created the proxy. That's how the system was fed with this long link here, right? You only updated the last bits, correct?
Exactly. I
It
have
wasn't
updated it.
manually input, only the last bits that you updated.
No, I have created manually and put it here. This is the
Oh,
separate
you manually copied and pasted it here?
yeah. I have
Oh.
created it here manually. You can see it. I have created it, adding all the things, right? And then I have pasted it. It's not means it is a
Okay,
it is
you
just a
pasted it.
postman tool. It's not like that means in it just I'm trying to test you the data. It's not like part of our implementation, right?
Okay.
Just I'm trying to show you the data directly without using IAG. IAG will use these things in IAG. This is not part of our IAG implementation, right? This is just I'm trying to use a third party tool, a API tool, and show you that how data looks like, how you can access data, right? And how system actually working. That's I'm trying to show you. Means how our IAG is fetching data from the IPS. That's I'm trying to show you from the this tool. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like that. It is you can just ignore even this thing. I'm just trying to show you that how IAG is pulling data from the IPS, right?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
In that
Thanks.
way, because means as you have created all these complete URLs, so this URLs is being created where these URLs are being created at from this place. But one thing is missing. One thing, what is missing right now? I am giving here this system ID, this ID, this ID. I have nowhere given here, right? For that, last integration point is being created, right? So last integration point, what we are doing, you have to go into IAG application. And that is the main point, right? Go to IAG applications. Here you have to create the last step of your integration. Come to system. Everything knowing. BTP is knowing, IPS is knowing, but still IAG is not knowing where means we have from where we have to pull the data, right? So you have to come here. You have to add this connection, right? And here you have to select first system type. Surely it is also a Cloud Foundry type of system. Once you will select the Cloud Foundry, it will ask external system ID. By default, it will ask. So you have to come here and you have to copy this external. This is called external ID. Okay. So this is called your external ID. You have to copy this. So this is the link missing, which now I'm trying to fill the gap. Okay. So this you have given this external link to Cloud Foundry. Now give whatever name you want to give. Same name I will give. It is not mandatory to give the same name what I have given, but I think what name I have given, I will give the same to identifying purpose PRS PTP, right? So this is, I will save it. So now I can tell you that your integration with IAG integration with Persona BTP trial account is completed. Now completed end to end, right? So now you want to read the data. Now next job is to read data from what data I have shown you reading here. This is not a matter. Means this data must be read from the this IAG applications, right? So now this link means now once you are going to run the job, okay, so how it is working. So once it will run the job, it will just check this, right? External, and automatically you can see that HCP destination is taking IPS proxy, right? It is, that's why I'm saying it is taking IPS proxy. It is giving external system ID to you, and this is so this your connect. So once it is going to IPS proxy, so automatically it will fetch all the details from here, right? And it will create, means it will automatically complete the URL which I am trying to create manually here, right? And that it will create automatically and fetch data from the target system. So that is a very simple configuration, I can tell you that. Okay. Now to test it is working fine or not. However, it must work fine because our configuration till here is working fine. But yeah, just for the purpose, if our IPS configuration is fine or not, you have to go and run a job. Since I had run a job and I can't show you difference, but as of now I can show you one thing so that you should must be clear, right? So it's not be any confusion. Right now you can find system all type. We have already added PRS BTP. So I'm trying to add if any, you can say user or any detail is there or not, right? So you can find no data found, try adjusting the searcher. So means if I'm trying to find for this account, there is no data. Now if I will go to, this is access maintenance, there is no role. If I'm going to user data, there is no way to search like that, but I will give again system name like that PRS. No matching user found, right? So right now there is no user or access related with PR BTP system is available. So now I will run the job. Job, you are running repository sync always and give the whatever the name. Name is not found to, just I'm running sync. Once you will give, you have to select the system type. Again, system type is important. Once you will give Cloud Foundry, whatever system related with Cloud Foundry is there, it will be displayed. I have to integrate PRS BTP and then I have to run the schedule job. Go to job history. Since it is not having lot of data like our on-premise system, it should not take more than 1 minute of time. It may be possible that till the time we are discussing it is already completed because job is just a few users and few roles. Okay. Now you can understand that. Read all these things. What is job is scheduled, running successfully triggered, number of groups retrieved from the system 9. Same thing which you have retrieved from here, right? 9. Same thing, right? Number of groups updated in IAG repository, the number of users retrieved, it is saying that 2. If you will see, come here users, it's also saying you that 2, right? Same data it is trying to tell you. So it is saying 2, number of assignments of user whatever is happening, so that is coming. So means your job is successful, everything is finished, okay? Now you have to go and find that if access maintenance have the roles related with that system. Go select this one, select, go. You can find all your roles, right? Sub-account administrators, sub-account service administrators, so what business application studio, so whatever roles are available, you are able to find it in your IEC system now. Same way, if you will go to users, so whatever users you are having, just try to search with the PRS underscore. You have two users. I don't know if it is a correct one, but Persona, you can confirm me if you have created users like this,
Yeah.
persona.timo. Is it?
Two users, correct.
Two users. Yes. So two users showing, and however, if name is not given, so this user ID, both user ID is showing to you. And so that is a thing. So in this way, you are connecting any applications, right? So whatever applications is running on the BTP, you can add in the same way. Okay. Any doubt till it? Please, I will try to explain. After that, I will just go through means some PPTs which I have created for some other integration because that is already created. So I do not want it to repeat that. Okay.
So how do we check the user to group assignments here, Prakash? Is there any separate tile to check user to group assignments?
User to group assignment. You have to go to users. I'm really here. I don't think it will be showing here. No, it will not show here. That is really a challenging thing in IAG. Even I remember that you can't show in that way. But there is existing assignments. I will try to find out why that. If you are going to create a access request and then, sorry, if I'm going to see for myself, so it will show all the existing assignments. Okay. So see, it is showing for myself. Since I'm not part of that BTP, so it's not showing for me. But yeah, normally it will show in your existing assignments if it is assigned to you. Or if you want to see for some other users, then you should have access request others access here. You have to find, you have to give that users, and then you can find it. For this custom identity provider, I think I don't have access for that. I can show you later sometime, not a problem.
Yeah, sure.
But there is no direct way you can find it here that this user data is not having assignment, and also this maintenance. I don't remember if even some user is showing that thing, but let me check once again if they have, because nowadays they are upgrading. These are the enhancement request we have raised long back to them. That's something that is not you can say up to the mark. I know that sub account administrator is at least assigned to one person. So is it displaying to user? Authorization object. No, there is no users rule relationship here.
Okay.
Only place you can see in the existing assignments.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so any other dot? No? Okay, so coming to these things, as I have explained few things, but yeah, at last I will just means I have done all the things, but I will go quickly to, you can say this documentation part is done. This is, I have think I have already shown to you. So just I will means go through the PPTs if anything missing so that I can explain. I think these things are well explained. If you have to, once you have created the IPS proxy, so next step for adding any applications or applications, you have to go into the IPS and you have to add into the you can say add button here. So once you will add button, detail will come. You have to create, since I have already added IS, so this means PPT is for using that connection. Okay, so identity means type of system you are using. Like at that time I was connecting identity authentication, so I have tried to use that. Okay, few limitations. System name can have a length of up to 100 character. This one. Okay, system name. Only the following characters are allowed: a small a to z, capital A to z, 0 to 9, underscore, hyphen, okay, dot, and the spaces. It must be unique. Surely means you can't keep two systems with the same name, right? So it should be unique. So after doing that, properties, as I have told that properties, what properties are doing. So properties are helping you to be means how you are reading data from your source system or how you're provisioning to your target system, right? So that's property decides. So properties for I will try to, since I have some time, I will try to show you directly in the SAP help page if it is available to me. Anyone have? Yes. Identity services provisioning. I don't know if it requires. No, I think it's nice. Okay. So you can go to identity provisioning services. Few questions you were asking, I will answer all the questions here. Okay. So like that, one thing, first I will go to concepts. You will find system types, not much, but yeah, system types means like system proxy, properties. This is really important. Okay. So properties, if you are going to properties, okay, so it will say different type of properties to you. Okay, so what for your system provisioning goals, you can set properties at two places. Don't get confused more. You can directly set in identity provisioning, which right now we have done. Okay, mostly properties are all the, you can see how many properties are there. So list of properties you can find. Okay, so many properties, you can't even think that means how many properties are there. So lot of properties, you can see that there are 317 pages showing, means as for this one. Okay, means for each pages it is having 10 items, so you can just guess that approximately 3170, right? Approximately I'm saying that 3170 properties are available, and it is for all type of systems, all type of means some property. Right, I'm now trying to go and read you for, but if you want to means set up Ariba, right? So better come here, search Ariba. Okay, you will find all the property related to Ariba, right? So all property related, if you are connecting a scheme system, just write a scheme. So even I am doing, when I am doing any connections, I'm trying to go with the type of system and then reading at least once all the properties, which property can be for my use, right? So that is very important, right? So you can find that all scheme related property you will find. Then if you assume that you are connecting, going to connect Azure, right? So you can just, Azure is being read by AAD, Azure Active Directory Lighting. So AAD dot properties. So all the properties related same way, means you have to understand that it is not like things that anyone can remember. Not I'm, even I can't remember. If I'm connecting 10 systems daily, means I can't remember all the properties, right? So it's always important the type of system you are connecting. Go search that properties. Try to understand if these properties are of, most of the properties are being used as a default. So default is set up. But if you want change from the default, right? Because by default everything is working. But if you want some changes from your default, you want some customizations, then you have to come and change the property using the property, right? So that is the thing. Lot of customization you can achieve using the property. Okay, so this is the things I wanted to explain about the properties. I will also explain one more thing about the transformation. Before that, few questions comes about the systems, right? So if you are going to proxy systems, you can find out how many type of systems it is supporting, right? So it is supporting almost multiple type of SAP systems as well as a scheme, LDAP server. These things are common, right? A scheme supporting, LDAP server summit supporting, and there are multiple type of different type of systems, SAP, MDI, a lot of systems are being supported here. SAP Analytics Cloud Identity Authentications. Someone have asked me like S4HANA or something, right? S4HANA on-premise, and then ABAP. I think ABAP should also be somewhere. Yeah, SAP Application Server, ABAP. So these are the on-premise system. Also getting integrated by IPS, right? But same, like as I have told that IAG, one more thing I wanted to show you. You have asked why I have not connected. Means if it is IPS is also integrating S4 HANA, IPS is also integrating any ABAP system, then why I am not using IPS for those connection? Why I am using BTP? I mean, sorry, Cloud Connector, right? So reason is like that. That you will understand from here. Be very clear. I will show you. Remember this. That is really useful, and that is really come here. How you can understand which type of integration, because it is not in our hand that we have to decide everything. See, when it is asking inter HCP destination, it means what? HCP, I have explained you in some last calls or some last sessions. HCP nothing but HCP named as a SCP and then BTP. Means HANA Cloud Platform. Later on, it is has been renamed as a SAP Cloud Platform, and right now it is a Business Technology Platform, right? So these all things are same. Coming from the history, it is taking HCP. It is asking HCP destination name, means you have to go into your, you can say that BTP account only. You can't go to IPS, right? But select the system type and it will tell you that which type of connection going to. Select Cloud Foundry. It is asking inter external ID. It is not asking to enter HCP destination. Clear? It is asking external ID which you are taking from the this identity provisioning. This is external ID. So that's the reason you can't create Cloud Foundry integration directly from the IAG. Now I will show you. Come to ERP system. Sorry, Concur. Even Concur is also directly integrating from the HCP destination. So it is going for SCP destination, right? Same way I will ask to ERP. Come to ERP. It's asking HCP destination. So you can't use proxy. If you are going to use proxy, then here you will give the external ID, and external ID will not work here. So IAG itself deciding that which type of integration you are going to do. So it is pre-integrated. We are not going to customize these things. If ERP is getting integrated using HCP destination, we must have to create destination in HCP. Same S4 HANA on-premise. It is asking HCP destination. It's not asking external ID. But if you will go to some identity authentication services, it is asking external ID. Means you have to create this ID. So how you will decide that which system where we have to create? Surely documentation is a one place, a best placeholder. But if you are thinking, if you have any doubt, any confusion like that, go to this system place, give the system type, and accordingly take this. Only two type of things you have to do. Either it will ask external ID or it will ask HCP destination. If it is asking HCP destination, then remember that you have to go to BTP destination, and here you have to create the destination. If it is asking you external ID, then you have to create that system in IPS and use as an external ID from the IPS proxy. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah.
So Prakash, you said you have integrated IAS, right, in one of your previous sessions. So is that version V1 or V2, Prakash?
I have used V1. See, here I have tried V1. I will not say I am expert on that side, but since they are coming with the V1 little updated one, so I have tried to use V1. Okay. Earlier I have tried V1. I have tried V2. So I think I have created V2, but it is here. You can check it. Not a problem. If you want to check some which type of connection I have created, cancel. Okay, so I have created and I'm naming like that. This is our IS. Okay, so I have given IS. This is our IAG, means same system which we are connecting. BTP, this is Prasanna BTP, and this is one of the trial BTP we have added earlier. This is ERP which we have added, and this is GRC client, right? So we are added all type of client now. In training environment, adding so many clients are really, you can understand, but we are trying to add multiple type of things so that you should get hands-on all type of things. Yeah, this is you have asked. I have used V2. Okay.
V2, okay. Okay.
You can find which type of integrations like that. This is IEG, we are using Cloud Foundry. I hope it is clear. Connection is clear, right? Yeah, so I wanted to explain properties that I have done. Now coming to
And one more
set
question,
properties.
Prakash, so you showed us the list of systems in the SAP documentation, right? So we have a big list of systems. So suppose,
Yeah.
like for example, I want to integrate one system, let us say a Microsoft Dynamics 365.
Hmm.
So what will be the approach, Prakash? So what are the checks that we do so that we can decide if the integration is feasible or not?
See, first thing, if you are going to integrate of IPS, unfortunately, I can't show you document of IH directly. Okay, this is document of IPS, but nowadays most of the application coming via IPS. So if you want to
Okay.
integrate via IPS, so you can come and see here. We are right now saying that Microsoft Azure Active Directory, Microsoft Active Directory, we can integrate it via this way. But if you are asking me Microsoft Dynamics, I don't know. Then you have to understand that because these are not the applications. Even Microsoft Active Directory and Azure Active Directory is not the things which you are asking. Then there is two questions. Is your application supporting a scheme protocol? A scheme, is it a
Okay.
scheme system? Can we get a scheme endpoint for your system? You have to ask your applications provider, can we get a scheme endpoint or not? Simple question. They have to
Okay.
give a scheme endpoint for user, a scheme endpoint for the authorizations, a scheme endpoint for the reaching out to system. Can they provide it or not? If they can provide, you have to just create a system connection type scheme. Clear?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
In some cases, like Active Directory or some other server, especially for the user store or some LDAP, you can also find LDAP server. But as I have told initially only, other than SAP, few are standard like Active Directory and Microsoft. They are having direct integration, Google G Suite. But other than those, we have a scheme system, and most of the systems which is following a scheme can get integrated via using a scheme connection.
Okay. So this will be a generic system type for all applications that support Screen protocol.
Yeah, but that system must support a scheme protocol.
Got it. Thank you.
If that system is not supporting a scheme protocol, then yes, yeah, it is not possible to integrate it with your ISA.
Okay, Prakash. Thank you.
Yeah. Now coming to a few things, I don't think I left a lot, but yeah, these things we have discussed properties. Then one last things coming to that I have not discussed it, that is called transformation. What exactly transformation is, that I'm trying to explain. So we have done all the configuration, but you have seen that I have not made any changes into this and this, right? So this normally what is happening in IPS, it is writing by default. So it is mostly a standard, but it is not like that always working. So what exactly it is trying to? So assume that what transformation is doing. You have one system. One system means assume that source system, and one system is the target system. It may be possible that in source system you are giving id something else, right? And target system you are giving id something else, right? Means what id means identifier. In source system you are adding means it means like in source system I am raising request with a c user I mean sorry some user id p user id, right? I'm going and selecting the p user id, but my target system is ariba, right? And there is no PI user ID concept, but we have to write with the mail ID. So that's you have to decide, right? So if your source path is ID, right? So if source path is ID, means I'm just trying to think about that. In this case, assume that Ariva is system. So Ariva system, if source path is email ID, so I should give here email ID at the place of ID, and at the place of target ID, whatever ID is giving, because PID is normally the ID being treated, so ID is fine. So that thing you have to understand. Not only this, all other things like some places you are writing first name, some places it is the given name, right? So you have to describe very clearly. If it is both the places name, that is fine. If both the places emails, fine. Somewhere it is writing emails, somewhere you're simply writing mails, right? So how your system, both of your systems are identifying the attributes, right? So that is very important when you are trying to do the configuration and writing the thing. Okay, so these things are very important. However, most of the times if it is using the standard type of configuration, as I'm saying that you are configuring cloud foundry, you are configuring SAP analytics cloud, then it will not have a problem because SAP knows that both sides of the application attributes, and they have by default generating those type of applications, so you will not face lot of issues, right? Where you are going to face the issue, you are going to connect the scheme connection, and that point of time SAP doesn't know that what should be the target, means if applications how using an IAG they know, but they don't know how applications are using the naming conventions, right? What is the main primary key for the applications, how they are identifying the users. So in that case you have to know, you have to find the details that okay, if my target application is like that dynamics, so how it is being treated, is identifier is some ID or it is some, you can say, mail ID. So accordingly you have to change your path. So again I will tell you that if you are saying that read transformation means your source path is nothing but your target application, means in this case BTP is our source, right? So this one is source and target is our IAG. If you are using right transformation, so right transformation means here source is nothing but your IAG and target is your, right? Same way means if you will take another applications, right? So read means reading, we are reading data from the some target application, I writing it to IAG, right? So read transformation is being used for that. So if you are going to make the changes, remember that you have to make the changes here, and you have to understand that this force source path is being used for the target application here. Because we are right now checking read transformation. Okay, so it should be according to the means you can say source applications, right? And target application here is our IAG. In write it get reverse. In write our source application is IAG and our target application is means normal target, whoever system you are integrating it. So these things you have to take care of, and lot of things you need to understand. Again I will tell you that it is a not a very rocket science of things, but yeah, some JSON knowledge is required, some you can say little bit how you are trying to understand this entity attribute. But yeah, it's very simple. Words are means if you are writing true means it will check, if you are writing false it will not check, simple. If you do not want to, if you are writing it optional, then it will, even though it's checking that it's getting failed, so it is not, doesn't matter, right? So this type of means if you are integrate means trying to map it, and if you give an optional and assume that it is not matching, right? So it, even though it will write, right? But if you given true, so it should get verified, right? It should get means same. That is the problem. If it is not matching, then it will fail. So that type of things, if you are giving that false means it will not check. Just means like assume that I do not want to check that emails, I do not want to check some user ID or something, so just I can make it false, means optional should be false, right? So this type of things you will find, and you have to understand this is again not directly part of IAG, but since you are working with the IPS, so sometimes you may have to encounter with this type of changes. Okay, so I was trying to this, so that is a transformation. So retransformation from the source system to provisioning framework, and from the provisioning framework means provisioning framework is here our IAG to the target application that is being used for the in the case of proxy environment. This I have tried to explain everything what I have shown you today. Everything is documented, and once you will try, you can do the documentation in very detail. I have tried to find it out how you are creating your. You can say that proxy system. What is important here? So this is your URL and what you are copying. You are copying this one only, right? So this is your external ID being used in your integration. So that's your what you have collected from there. You have using this in next step. This just we have done. Last one thing I will show you that you will face sometimes this error, right? Even I have done and I have faced, I have found many times this error encountered. So what I have done, I have tried to means just you can say remind it. However, I have shown you that if you are finding this type of any error, so most probably your OAuth 2 URL, OAuth 2 token service URL is not correctly maintained. So come here, check that if you are using the right URL or not, and also ending of the URL is correct or not. Means OAuth token must be there. And also you should be like that. Sometimes even I don't remember, I use API man. What is the problem? I can show you that. Okay. Here we are writing API URL. Right? API URL is being used as the place of URL in that proxy configuration, and this URL is being used as a you can say OAuth to service token URL. So sometimes even I means remember that okay this URL, so I copied this and write into URL. So that's happened. So that's you have to recheck. Come here. So this URL is used for the OAuth to service token means OAuth to service token. Here you have to add it like this and then use it. And this API URL is being used for the normal URL purpose, right? So that you have to little be careful. And that's why they have generated means so many times people used to face the issue, and that's why there is one note given via the SAP. So this note also mentions the same error. And there are, if you want to explore this note, that you can explore because this type of some other error messages are also coming that is being resolved via this solutions only. So any doubt for the today's session? If not, then I will tell that today's session is completed, and with that, we have completed our configuration. I means I will say that mostly system integration side. From the tomorrow onwards, we are going to directly into the applications, and I can tell you that we are not going to do because right now I can show you that we are having how many systems. We are having already added uh, three cloud applications, right? Three cloud applications, IAG, IS, BTP, and then two on-premise applications. So 5 applications we have already integrated into our IAG. Lot of data we are having what we wanted. So this data we have access maintenance data means lot of rules are there, users are there. We have means we have lot of data to work on, right? This were required because without that we can't able to work on which data we should have been work. But right now, if you can look into your IAG system, it looks like a productive environment, not a training system type, because you have a good amount of system, you have good amount of all those things, right? So now we can work, we can utilize most of the our functionality which is being provided by IAG. So we will try to means you can say start from tomorrow. Tomorrow we will start with some basic configuration, or you can say some mandatory configurations, and some you can say role maintenance. I will try to go ahead with that, and then means we will try it means next sessions whatever coming mostly coming on the application sides, because configuration or whatever you can say integrations are completed, and we are not going to do any further integrations, right? So integration part is completed from our side. Now we are going for the application, pure applications, for which we are here, right? Surely, as I have told on initially that on application side, it's not a GRC. You have to do a lot of customization and configuration. Most of the things are being provided. Only you have to understand the things. You have to know the things. You have to know the applications, how applications works. But any problem, if you have, you can surely ask in the next sessions as well. Not a problem for integration purpose or something. But I have tried to create a means and devote a lot of time on the integration purpose for your understanding. Otherwise application sites is not having, because a lot of things But if you're not understanding the integration, honestly speaking, it's really difficult to work on the IAG.